All right, everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're going to talk about PlayStation Network. And yeah, we had a little fun this weekend with it, didn't we, guys? Went down for, God, I think it was about a day. Let's cue up the music and we'll talk about it. All right, so it was Friday night. I was home, and Saturday I was heading off to MegaCon, right? I was getting up early, and me and Mrs. Beefy and Hobbit were all going to be hitting the road early, like 7:30 in the morning, heading up to MegaCon for the day, coming back Sunday afternoon. I was trying to finish up the cursed mission for No Man's Sky. I had like 2 phases left, and I was running out of time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish this up Friday night, get this done, and be done with it, basically. Finished. As I'm playing through, all of a sudden I get this message saying that the game's going to shut off in 15 minutes because it can't verify my license. I'm like, what? So I go to renew my license, and lo and behold, I can't connect to the PlayStation Network. And because I've got 2 PS5s in the house, I got the Pro in my studio, and I've got the other one out in the living room, and I have enabled share play on that one. So the missus could play Ark with us. I couldn't, that was set up as my primary out there at the time. So I couldn't update in here, and I didn't have No Man's Sky out there with the updated saves and all that kind of crap. So yeah, to make a long story short, I was screwed. So I was like, God dang, man. So anyway, I was like, it's probably only going to be out for an hour or so. Yeah, it was out all night, basically. And, yeah, so it was something else. I was kind of shocked. So we get to MegaCon. It was a nice time at MegaCon. We had a good time, but yeah. Didn't come back on till, God, what was it, late? I think late Saturday afternoon or evening or something like that. Anyway, Sony experiences a PSN outage over the weekend. Company cites operational issues as cause despite user fears of a data breach. I was wondering about that because got a credit card on file, and on January 10th, I had to renew anyway. In fact, it just renewed earlier today at the time of filming this video, which is kind of funny. So all this occurred like right around the same time. I'm like, am I going to be able to renew? They said it was giving me an additional 5 days, but we're going to get to that later. Let's just read through this a little bit. Sony's PlayStation Network, the PSN, has finally restored full functionality after an hours-long outage that left millions of players unable to connect over the weekend. The disruption, which began late Friday and lasted through much of Saturday, prevented users from accessing online multiplayer games, purchasing content, and even playing some single-player titles due to digital verification requirements. Sony Interactive Entertainment confirmed on Sunday that services were back online, offering a brief apology and a small consolation for PlayStation Plus subscribers, an automatic 5-day extension to their membership. However, the company's yet to provide a detailed explanation of what caused the disruption. Now, here's what's interesting. I still had to renew on the 10th. It didn't give me 5 more days before it asked me to renew, so I don't understand what happened there, Sony. I mean, no big deal one way or the other. It's 5 freaking days, but 5 days is 5 days, right? Anyway, network services are fully recovered from an operational issue, Sony Interactive Entertainment said Sunday. We apologize for the inconvenience and thank the community for their patience. All PlayStation Plus members will automatically receive an additional 5 days of service. The outage, which affected players worldwide, including in the US, UK, and Australia, left many players unable to access their game libraries or even launch titles they had previously downloaded. Players looking forward to their usual Friday night gaming sessions were particularly irritated. Yeah, I could see that. That sucks. Normally we stream on Fridays, but Mrs. Beefy had her school had a function going on, so we had canceled our stream anyway that night because she had that school function, and being that we had to go to MegaCon the next day, I was, I just wanted to finish up that mission, and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to once that thing went down, but I was able to finally on Sunday, but it really put me close to the wire, man. I was like, oh my God. But this really gives you a good, I'm a digital only guy at this point in time in my life. And I know there's a lot of people out there who would give me hell for that. And rightfully so, because this is exactly why, right? When the system goes down, I have a plastic box that's useless. Now, if it was my primary PlayStation, it would have been fine, right? I could have played the game still and all that because the licenses would have been cool. But being that I had the other one out there, it kind of messed things up for me. So it is what it is there. But yeah, if I had physical discs, that would be a different story. I could probably still play. Wouldn't be able to play anything that requires an online mode like Ark Survival Ascended or, stuff like that. But a single player game I could have just plug and play and gone and had fun with, Anyway, let's see. Friday night is my game night with a couple buddies. Thanks for ruining this. One user posted on X. Another vented their frustration over digital ownership, stating I can't play offline games I own because my PlayStation 5 can't verify I own it. As the outage stretched into Saturday, speculation began running wild. Some feared it could be another security breach akin to the infamous 2011 PSN hack that compromised over 77 million accounts. That incident, one of the worst cybersecurity disasters in gaming history, saw the network shut down for nearly a month. Remember that? Between April and May 2011, hackers stole personal data, including credit card details, leaving many players wary of trusting Sony's security again. At the time, PlayStation attempted to make amends by offering free games like Infamous as part of a welcome back program. However, the damage to consumer trust was significant. While Sony has assured players that the latest 2025 outage was an operational issue and not a security breach, the length of downtime has once again put a spotlight on the risks of an always online ecosystem. Here's GameStop saying, yeah, bet you all want physical copies now. Not from you guys. You guys are rip-offs there. Paul Tassi talking about the PlayStation Network being down. Yeah, amid the chaos, GameStop couldn't resist taking a jab at the digital-only players after the PSN outage had stretched past 14 hours to retail. Posted on X, bet you all want physical copies now. The cheeky comments sparked debates among gamers about the importance of physical media, with digital right management preventing players from accessing even single-player games when PSN is down. The argument for physical game ownership has never been stronger. And I'll grant you that. This is a valid, very valid reason for that, right? When the machines go down, the servers go down and all that, the guys with the discs are going to be the ones playing the games. Guys like me, we're going to be playing with something else because we're not going to be able to access our games, and that's going to suck. Not only that, but you look at the way things are these days, and what if I lose my account, right? What if somebody hacks my account, takes it from me somehow? What if I get quote unquote canceled or something like that and I lose my account? There's a lot of reasons that physical copies make a lot more sense. That, you can't cancel me if I have the physical copies. Now, something could happen. Someone could break into my house and steal the physical copies. They could get scratched. They could get dirty. They could, I could lose them, whatever. The little brother could play with it and use it as a frisbee in the yard. The dog could eat it. There's different stuff that could happen to physical copies that would destroy it. But, so each has its pluses and each has its minuses. I get both sides of the argument. My reasoning for digital is I like the convenience of it. And up until now, it really hasn't been inconvenient for me. I like being able to just go into my library and download a game in a few minutes. I have good internet. I have speedy downloads. I can download most games in under 30 minutes, even the really, really, really big ones. Smaller games, it's just a matter of 2, 3, 4 minutes. Boom, boom, down, done. These big 100 some odd gigabyte games, maybe 30 minutes or so. And a lot of them have that, point where you download enough to start playing it. So it is what it is. So yeah, this is a good argument for physical media, but again, I don't want hundreds of games to sort through and stack up. And when I want to switch games and doing what I do, I go through a lot of games sometimes in a single night. If I'm filming content for different stuff, I don't want to have to change games. A disk drive is another piece of equipment in your console or your computer, whatever, and it's mechanical. So it has moving parts break down, friction, yada, yada, yada. So there's pluses and minuses on both sides of it. For me, digital works. For you, it may not. I get it. I get both sides of the argument. Anyway, let's finish this off. While Sony's restored PlayStation Network and issued an apology, many players remain frustrated by the lack of transparency regarding the outage's cause, With modern gaming heavily reliant on online connectivity, even for single-player titles, any future downtime could further damage PlayStation's reputation. So, yeah. What do you guys think, man? Where do you stand on the physical versus not physical, digital copies of games? Are you a physical guy? Are you a digital guy? Were you shut down because of this over the weekend? Did you lose a night of playing? And how bad did it piss you off? I understand some guys, maybe Friday night's the only night you have, you come home from work and all that, boom. That's it. That's your game night. It's kind of like bowling night or whatever. That would suck. That would really piss me off. Not everybody has, the freedom I have. So, for me, this actually was, as far as an inconvenience, it was the most convenient inconvenience it could ever be because I was gone all day Saturday in Orlando. I couldn't touch my PlayStation anyway. So it only impacted me for a few hours Friday night, and then I was done. So it really wasn't that big of a deal for me, but still, it could have been, right? Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comment below. Yeah, down in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.